Hey guys, what's up? My name is Art. Um, Back to do another video. It's like 12:30 in the morning. I should be in bed sleeping, but this is a unique week for me. First thing I want to say that this September is National Suicide Awareness Month. So one thing as a person who never tried to commit suicide, but I had suicidal ideations many times. One thing is that if you think that you are planning on doing it, or you think you're depressed and you want to do that, talk to somebody. Talk to somebody. You know, but make sure the person you talk to knows how to listen. And for you, when someone approaches you in that manner, make sure you listen and open your heart, because it's a very vulnerable time for most people. When most people are in that situation, is they're very vulnerable, and the wrong thing, you could say the wrong thing and you could turn it shitways sideways. So I don't remember anybody I know committing suicide. I've heard rumors of some people, like people I know who did it, or people who got committed or whatever because they were doing that, or something they'll try to do or whatever. I heard rumors, but never really reached out to anybody because I didn't want to feel disingenuous. But if you're feeling that way, make sure you open up. Even if you're depressed, always open up. For example, the other night, I pretty much talked to one of my compatriots pretty much all night. Believe me, I was talking to a person all night. I felt that this person may not have been in the best mood, but I felt that, I should stay up and talk to this person as long as I could. And to tell you the truth, in a way, I felt better when I did. And when we finally stopped talking about like 4 in the morning, I felt a lot better about myself. And I felt better that I helped this. It feels like I helped this other person. Um, that's how I feel, but I don't really know exactly if it worked like that or not. Don't know, but but that's one thing. Because sometimes therapy doesn't work for everybody, but sometimes a good ear is more effective than paying a therapist. Okay, enough of that. Get on with that. Sorry. The next thing is that this week marks the 2-year anniversary of the end of my probation. The last week in September, 2 years ago, I was discharged from probation 2 weeks early. During that time, I had a staph infection, and I think I did a video about that a year and a half ago, maybe. But long story short, 2 years ago, right near Labor Day, I got a staph infection, was hospitalized for over a week, and it damaged my hip bone so much that they thought that they might have to actually give me a hip replacement. Luckily, That didn't happen. Luckily, that didn't happen, and that's not going to happen. So luckily, that's that. And that was in 2006, 14, I believe. 2016. That no, sorry, I got the probation in 2014. 2016. This week in 2016, which is 2 years ago, I went to my probation officer, and which is the fourth Monday of every month in the afternoon. I had a cane. I walked into probate. I walked into probation. I walked into probation thinking that, okay, how much crap they're going to give me. Because one, during the Labor Day weekend, I'm pretty sure I always had, I remember one of the past videos I said that every holiday, or the day after the holiday, we have the test. And so the day after Labor Day, I didn't test because I was in the hospital bed. Couldn't even move. So I walked into probation with my cane. I was walking a little bit better, but still kind of shaky. And a folder. Matter of fact, it was this yellow folder right here. There's different stuff in here now, but I walked in there with a yellow folder just like this. Well, not necessarily this yellow folder, but a yellow folder like this. Because I had all my probation officer. Take you during that, I didn't even go to AA either. I barely went to AA because me trying to move and all this other stuff. Went and talked to him. I said, I explained to him, hey, right the day before Labor Day, I went to the hospital. I had a staph infection, and I was in the hospital for over a week. And here's my paperwork that proves that. And the guy was like, whoa. He looked at me. He's like, man, within the past 2 years, well, the year and a half I've been dealing with him, I had gout. I had a case of gout twice, and this. And so it's like he said, almost lately, every time I see you always have some kind of crutch or a cane or something like that. And he looked at me and he's like, wow, okay, because of this, he said, you did miss a couple testings, but we noticed that during that week you didn't test at all, and the week after that, but you started testing again. So obviously you was able to move, but not too smoothly like how you are right now. So he goes, so right now, so because of that, and you show us the proof, we're not gonna violate you again. We're not gonna violate you again. I said, okay, cool, thanks. And he says, because one, I was going to AA on a regular basis. I was doing my testing on a regular basis, paying for the testing, and passing the test. That means I wasn't drinking alcohol or doing any kind of drugs. That's why every time when I went into probation, I was confident because, except for this day, except for this time, I was confident, except for this time, because I didn't know what was going to happen because of the hospital. I had a feeling that I had a feeling that either one or two things might happen. They might have me test a little bit, do extra testing to make up for it, or they might just say, okay, but luckily they said, we're not going to worry about it. He said because of that, and plus you paid us off already. You don't owe us any cent. You don't owe us anything. So I don't see any reason to do anything bad to you or anything like that. You showed us proof, and you've been a good model probationary person on probation. And I said, okay, cool. And I looked at him. I said, I do have one other question. October 10th, or is it October 12th? One of those 2 days. The funny thing is, I just pulled that. The funny thing is, what made me thought about this was the other day I was looking for some paperwork, and I pulled out my discharge paper. I said, like it was October 10th or October 12th. That's my official discharge date. He goes, oh. He looked up. He said, well, yeah, you're right. It is. So on the month of October, Do I still have to report to probation the fourth Wednesday? Even though I'm supposed to be officially discharged. A couple weeks before, he looked at me. He's like, you know what? I tell you what. I'm going to discharge you 2 weeks earlier. I'm like, okay, cool, thanks. Other than that, thanks you. And hopefully we won't see you again. I said, no, you won't. No, you won't. Ooh. Stomach. Maybe I should get a midnight snack, maybe. No, probably. No, shouldn't do it. Not going to do it. No midnight snack for me. Nope. So that's how I got discharged from probation 2 weeks early. So that's that. Some of you guys, some people are on their last legs of probation. And some of you are in the beginnings of your probation. And some of you are in the smack dab in the middles of your probation. Whether you're at the beginning, the middle, or the close to the end of your probation, just remember one thing. Don't drink. Even if you think you can get away with it, don't drink. Okay? Don't buy the fake pee shit. You don't know where that shit's been. Or whatnot. Don't do all that shit. It's easier just to not drink. Just don't drink at all. Don't do any drugs. Don't do any kind of drugs. It's the smartest way. And guess what? As long as you don't drink or don't do drugs, avoid anything with alcohol. Some perfumes have alcohol. Some deodorants have alcohol in it. Some mouthwash. I know mouthwash and toothpaste has has alcohol in it. Some cough medicines and medicine. Some medicines in general have alcohol in it. Try to stay away from that stuff. And as long as you stay away from all that stuff, you should have no problems. Even if they try to fuck with you, as long as you're doing the right thing, they can't do shit to you. Just remember that. And if you're in the home stretch, just think about it. One day, soon, it's over. And what you're gonna do, but the question is, what you gonna do when it's over? I don't know. I remember 2 years ago, one of my best friends, we went out to eat. And he asked me, he says, when all this is over, are you gonna drink again? Because I just started probation. I said, I don't even know. It's 2 years away from it. I don't even know. I don't even know. Two days after I got, that day I went home. I reached for a beer and I was about to drink it and I didn't do it. Because I was looking up and said, dude, I haven't drank in 2 years. I'm not going to drink right now. And do I think he's going to joke with me? He said I'm discharged, but I want to make sure. He discharged me. He came in. They don't play around. This guy didn't really play around. So the day after, I drank a beer. But I stayed home. I drank a beer, and I was like, oh my God, this feels so great. And the funny thing is that if you do decide to drink, you will have a different mindset because you're more conscious of what you're doing. So, with that, I just want to share that little story and that little anecdote and whatever little saying. Okay, I'm gonna get ready to go to bed, watch a video or two, go to bed, and bump and grind. It's hump day tomorrow. Get in and get it done. Whatever. I'm going to work tomorrow. Okay. So one thing I will tell you is that your health is very important. Without your health, you don't have shit. So just remember, regardless of what's going, nothing is true. Going through all this, it caused me a lot of anxiety. It caused me, it still does cause me some anxiety. Caused me some anxiety. Caused me still some depression. I suffer from depression on a normal basis anyway. But this whole ordeal kind of helped out a lot. So just remember, oops, just remember, it's my insulin. I gotta take it before I go to bed. So when I'm doing this video, I just remember I gotta take this thing because sometimes I forget to take it and I pay for it the next day. So one thing I'm gonna tell you is that take care of yourself, and I'll see you again in the next couple of days.